Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you if you go to my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's also a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to best make use of the time when you're actually in the exam room working through your paper on exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be really great. Subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And now we're going to make a start on the final paper of the 2017 Grade 3 Practice Papers booklet. So if you turn with me to page 15, we'll be looking at paper S. So this is a paper that was never actually set as an exam. It's just a specimen paper, just giving you a little bit more of a revision, a bit more of an attempt at an exam paper. So then, I do always suggest that you have a go of this yourself first of all. Doesn't matter if you make mistakes, it's okay. In fact, you'll learn better through those mistakes. You're always writing in pencil. You'll need a nice sharp pencil. I always use a mechanical pencil just so as it stays sharp. And you will need an eraser, no doubt. And a ruler would be handy too. Notice that it always says that if you're not neat, you could lose marks. So just keep everything neat and tidy, and you can rub out if you need to if you're using pencil. So I'm hoping you've had a go at this, the first bit at least, or you can listen to the first example and then you can try the rest yourself. So press pause at any point to have a go and then re-access into the video. So we'll work through these together now. So we're asked to add the time signature to each of these 5 examples. There are going to be 5 different time signatures. So make sure you don't just presume it's a continuation. So the first job is we've got to decide what our bottom number is going to be. And I'm just going to look at this second bar here. That's the easiest one. You can see that we're grouped in units of 2, and I think you can tell that we're going to be counting in quarter notes or crotchet beats. So we know that we're in simple time. So that's our first guess. If you find that you need to change that, you can always rub it out. But I think that's what we're going to be working in, because you can see we've got 1 crotchet beat, 1 quarter note there, 1 there, and then 4 quarters of a beat, 4 semiquavers, make a whole. So there's another beat there. So 1, 2, 3 over 4, and that's correct. Now this next one, we've got lots of tiny little divisions, and so I think we're going to be counting in quaver beats in 1/8 notes. Let's just see how that works out. I'm going to look at this, it doesn't really matter. So we've got 2 semiquavers which make a quaver, or 2 16th notes that make an 1/8. So there's 1 quaver beat. There's another, and then here we've got those 2 which give us that, and then if we join it with that, that gives us another quaver beat or another 1/8 note. I find that the easiest way to map it out. So you can see we've got 1, 2, 3 quaver beats in a bar. We can double check that here. We've got 1 here, it's the same again, exactly the same timing. And then we can see that all of those give us another one. So 3 over 8, yes, we're right. Let's look at the next one. So I'm just glancing ahead, just looking, I make a sort of a visual decision first, and then just sort of, that gives me a starting point. And here, this is a massively long bar, and we've got half notes or mini beats. So I think we're going to be counting with our bottom number as 2, because if we're counting in crotchet beats, it's going to be a massively long bar, because we've already got 4 crotchet beats, 4 quarter notes, and the bar's only half done. We're not counting in 1/8 notes. We're not in compound time, because you can see we're grouped in 2s. So let's see how this works out. I'm going to start on this second bar because this seems the most obvious. So if we're counting in mini beats or half notes, we've got 1 there, 1 there, and then that with those gives us another. Do that if it helps. And then that and that will give us that. So yeah, 4/2 is going to be our answer. Let's just check this last bar here. So there's 1, there's 1. That plus those gives us 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 4/2. That's that one. Now looking at this next one, here we can see we've gone into compound time. We're in groups of 3s, so we're going to be over 8. So we can either just count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12/8. Or we also know that that's quadruple time in compound 4 groups of 3. You can double check this bar. Here that divides into 2 groups of 3. There's another group of 3, and then there's another group of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's right. Let's look at this next one. Now don't let these triplets put you off. Before we even start to think about it, we know that that means 3 in the time of 2. So that's all we're looking at there. And you can see we're in groups of 2, so we're going to be counting in simple time. And it looks to me like we're counting in crochet beats or quarter notes. And so we've got 1 crochet beat there, 1 crochet beat there, there's another one, and then a half a beat and a half a beat. Don't forget the rest. That gives another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4/4. We can double check that in the next bar. That's worth 1.5 crochet beats because of the dot, plus a half gives us 2, and then there's another 2 in the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's correct. There we go. So quite a bit of thinking involved there, but if you just map it out and give yourself a few little notes, you can soon break it down. So take it in a stage at a time. Let's look at the next one. So a nice easy one here, just as long as you keep your eyes peeled with regard to the clefs. And if you're outside of your usual territory, just start at a point that you're familiar with and count it up, or work out your octaves. So have a go with that, and then we'll go through these together. So I'm hoping you've had a go, and let's check these out now. We're in bass clef and they've told us that's an F sharp. You could just do the symbol, but because as they've written the word out, let's follow their lead and we'll do the same. So here we're in the bass clef. We know that this is a G, good boys deserve, so G counting backwards. And if you find it hard to count backwards, I always before an exam suggest that you start and just sketch yourself out a piano keyboard. You can just visualise it. Even if you don't play piano, it's really helpful to just be able to visualise a piano keyboard. So we've got G, F, E, D. So there's that. We always use capital letters, you notice, when you're writing these answers. So here we know that this is Every Good Boy Deserves Football. F, G, A, B, C. And then don't forget C sharp. We'll write that out in full as they've done the same. So here we could work this out from middle C, C, D, E flat. Alternatively, you could count down your octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes you to here. Or you could even count from here. Good boys deserve football. Always A, B, C, D, E. Just work it out a step at a time. So here that's middle C, C, B, A, G flat. And the treble clef, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes you to G, an octave lower. So let's do this one an octave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes you to here. Good boys, it's a B. That's that question soon done. So let's move on to the next page. So if you turn the page, we'll have a look at question 3 at the top of page 16. So there we go. So we're just going to be looking at intervals. So take it a step at a time, and remember the number. If we just count the number of the interval, that gives us half marks straight away. So that's quite reassuring. The only thing you can go wrong with here is if you forget to count the given note as 1. So we want 1, 2, 3, line, space, line. So that's a third. So here we've got an A flat. If it helps, you could even just write out an A flat to a C. A flat major would have a C natural in it, that's part of the A flat major scale, and so we know that that's a major third. So here we're going 1, 2, 3, that's a third, and then we're going from B to D. Now if it was B major has a key signature of F, C, G, D, A sharp, so that should be a D sharp, and so because it's not a D sharp, it's part of the minor scale, which just has 2 sharps, and so that's a minor third. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've gone from G to G. So that's an octave or an eighth, either one of those will do. And it's perfect. Remember, octaves, fourths and fifths. We don't need to decide between the two, it's just perfect. So here we've got a 1, 2, a second. And from E flat to F, that's part of the major scale, that's a major interval, that's a full step. Now here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or you could just skip through the lines, 1, 3, 5, 7, we're on a 7th. Now it's tricky to think, remember this is an F sharp because of the key signature, we've gone from F sharp to A, C, E sharp. Now thinking, oh, I'm in the key of F sharp major, F sharp minor, that's quite a tricky undertaking, and so instead of thinking from F sharp to E sharp, drop everything down a semitone and think F to E, and then it's the same interval but parallel. So F to E, E is part of F major scale, so it's a major 7th, therefore F sharp to E sharp is similarly a major interval. You can also see that it's part of the minor scale and it's been raised, so it's been made bigger, so from minor to major. That's another way of just following that through. There we go then, that's completed. Let's leave it at that. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope that this is a benefit, and I hope that you're enjoying it too. I certainly am. If you can give me a like, that'd be great, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store. Please also visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.